Hello there, very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Before we head into the news in detail, here's a look at the headlines.
Investigations into the Kotadeniava child's death handed over to the CID. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe meets Indian President Pranab Mukherjee. Special committee to look into issues faced by the police department. Met Department predicts heavy rains accompanied by strong winds. Naval and fishing communities advised to be vigilant. Guatemala comedian to face former First Lady in presidency runoff.
Now on to those stories in detail. The investigation into the killing of Seya Sadewmi in Kotadeniava has been handed over to the Criminal Investigations Department. The Office of the Police Media Spokesperson's Unit said that the case was handed over following directions from the IGP.
While 15 people have been questioned and their statements recorded, Acting Police Media Spokesperson SSP Priyantha Jayakodi said that no information has come to light yet in order to identify a suspect. The police have decided to conduct a DNA test in order to identify the suspect. Police say the material required for the tests to be conducted will be handed over today. The police have taken steps to obtain a court order to conduct the DNA analysis. However, GeneTech will be conducting the DNA analysis on 2 strands of hair found on the body of the child. Seya Sadewmi was molested and murdered on the 12th of this month in Kotadeniava, and her final rites were conducted yesterday.
The report on the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights on Sri Lanka on the human rights situation in Sri Lanka will be tabled at the 30th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva today. Speaking exclusively to Newsfirst, spokesperson of the UNHRC, Ravina Shamdasani, said that the session is scheduled to commence at 2 p.m. today. She said that the findings of the investigation will thereafter be tabled at the session.
Ravina Shamdasani further noted that the recommendations for the legal framework as well as the findings of the investigations will be published today. It has also been reported that the report contains recommendations on how Sri Lanka can improve human rights in the country. High Commissioner of the United Nations Human Rights Council, Prince Azaid Arad Al Hussein, remarked on Sri Lanka at the inaugural session of the 30th UNHRC session on the 14th of this month. In his speech, the human rights chief commended the government's commitment under the leadership of President Maithripala Sirisena. Sri Lankan representatives for the UN said the statement made by Minister of Foreign Affairs Mangala Samarvira at the inaugural session has been taken into consideration by the UN member countries.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is on a 3-day official visit to India, met with Indian President Pranab Mukherjee at the Rashtrapati Bhavan a short while ago. We are now joined by Newsfirst special correspondent in New Delhi, Shamir Rasuddin, to bring us the latest.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe met with Indian President Pranab Mukherjee at Rashtrapati Bhavan a short while ago, that is approximately at around 11:30 Sri Lankan time. The meeting was not opened for the media. The bilateral discussions during the last 2 days have been very successful according to the Prime Minister's office. Now, what is important to note is that this is the Prime Minister's first overseas visit. India has been chosen by the Prime Minister because of its close ties and its close relations, and this is viewed as yet another step taken by the Sri Lankan government to further strengthen relations between its close neighbour India. The Prime Minister will leave India approximately at around 12:45 p.m. today. I'm Shamir Rasuddin reporting to Newsfirst from New Delhi, India.
Prime Minister Wickremesinghe met with Indian Premier Narendra Modi yesterday and held discussions. Following discussions, 4 bilateral agreements were signed between the two countries. Prior to his meeting with his Indian counterpart, Premier Wickremesinghe met with Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj. Yesterday evening, he also held talks with Indian Congress leader Sonia Gandhi, Vice Chairman of the Congress Party Rahul Gandhi, and former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Showers accompanied by...
An event was organized at the German Technical Training Center in Katubadda today to mark International Ozone Day. The event got underway under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
This was the first instance after 20 years when a state leader had arrived at the headquarters of the senior police officers. The police media unit said that the police officers held discussions with the president about the issues faced by the officers themselves. A number of ideas and recommendations on the changes that need to be made in the department were shared during the discussions. The presidential media unit noted that issues pertaining to police promotions, salary anomalies, as well as accommodation was brought to the attention of the president during the meeting. Adding that the solutions will be provided swiftly, the president had assured his support in resolving the matter gradually within a period of 1 month. Speaking at the meeting, IGP N.K. Ilangakun said that the police department was able to act independently following the recently concluded presidential elections. The IGP had extended his gratitude to the president for making this possible.
On to a headline-making story now. The Department of Meteorology says that up to 100 millimeters of rainfall can be expected from several parts across the island.
Showers accompanied by strong winds may occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and southern provinces and may extend to the northwestern province as well. Thunder showers may develop at a few places in the eastern and Uva provinces after 4 p.m. The Met Department has requested the general public to take adequate precautions in order to minimize the damage caused by lightning. Speaking to News First, meteorologist Malit Fernando advised naval and fishing communities to be vigilant as deep and shallow sea areas around the island will be very rough at times, with strong southwesterly winds reaching 70 to 80 kilometers per hour.
Minister of Prison Reform Tilak Marapana says that speedy measures are being taken to reform the prison sector.
208 new guards joined the prison services yesterday. A parade of those who were trained at the Research and Training Institute of Corrections was held yesterday under the auspices of Minister Tilak Marapana. The main responsibility before us is to reduce the number of prisoners in prisons. I have learnt that some prisoners are just idling here, having committed minor offences. Unfortunately, what is happening now is that this has become a long-term exercise. Action is filed in courts after a long time has lapsed. The case is heard several years after that. If a person is imprisoned, that itself is quite a punishment.
A container purporting to contain a stock of cinnamon, which was to be shipped to Japan, was brought back to the Colombo port after it was discovered to contain a stock of Kothala Himbutu.
Customs media spokesperson Leslie Garmini said that steps were taken to bring back the ship carrying the container on the 20th of July when it entered Singaporean waters. It has been revealed that the main suspect is a resident of Nugegoda. Environmental lawyer Jagat Gunawardena too arrived at the location where investigations are being conducted. The stock is valued at 4.2 million rupees.
Well, that's a wrap of lunchtime news. To stay ahead, you need to stay close to News First. For that, you simply need to log on to our website, www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Your latest news update will come your way at 1:55.